So, hello everyone, good evening, and I'm Rahul Jetawat, and I'm welcome all of you on our today's call on our latest stock idea, which is Gati Limited. And I hope सभी लोग fit and healthy होंगे. And again, I want to request everyone that whenever we are going out, we have to wear mask. So as you know, काफी पीछे कुछ दिनों से market has been very volatile. It has given a correction almost of a 10% from its high of 18,600. And again, COVID का problem वापस से शुरू होने लगा है, which is showing into the market also. As Nifty has gone down by almost 10%, but there are many stocks which has come down more than 20-25%. So it is very important that we stick with good stocks, and whenever it's recommended, we should do a value buying. So these kind of market, it's again a cautious market, but on the same time, it gives a opportunity to buy some quality stocks. So in line with this thought, so we want to share our latest stock report with every one of you. What is the rationale behind giving this stock idea? So along with me, we are having our institutional research analyst, Mr. Vineet Gala, who will take you through over today's stock idea. बट बिफोर कमिंग ऑन दैट, मैं आप सब लोगों के साथ हमारी जो पिछली कॉल्स भी हैं उसके ऊपर एक क्विक व्यू हम ले लेते हैं कि कैसा परफॉर्मेंस रहा है, क्या हुआ है. सो लेट मी शो यू दैट. सो ये कुछ स्टॉक आइडियाज हैं जो मैंने कोलेक्ट किए हैं फ्रॉम फर्स्ट इस करंट फाइनेंशियल ईयर में आफ्टर 1 अप्रैल दिए हैं हम लोग. और काफ़ी स्टॉक्स ने काफ़ी अच्छा अपमूव भी दिया है. सो दीज आर द सर्टेन स्टॉक्स which we covered in our stock ideas, like VIP Industries, which we gave at 400 rupees. It made a high of 550, more than 650 around, and today's it's trading around यानी 26th का रेट था 553. सफारी इंडस्ट्री which we gave last month only in 803, और कुछ दिन पहले it also made a high of 980, 86, 87, and today trading यानी yesterday on Friday the current market price was 902, and so on. Explo Solution again gave a good move. Sandur Manganese, it gave a good move, then came down. GNA, which we gave in May, and it has given us tremendous return. In current price also, it has given a 81% return. Alchem Laboratories, again we gave it in May, or it's on 20% return right now. And on last Friday, we gave two recommendation on IFGL Refractories and RHI Magnesite Limit India. So these are our very recent one. Then we Sundaram Finance, Valiant Organic, Boracel, Shelby. So these are the certain stocks which we have given in past and the return of that. So if we see, most of the stock has given very good returns. Few stocks like Valiant and Shelby, which are below than their recommended price, but most other than all these stock are on a positive direction with a very good returns. So we believe in strongly believe in this, that whenever we find any value buying, we should go for it, and it will always outperform the market. So on the same note, so we want to share our stock recommendation Gati and the rationale behind it with आप सभी के साथ उस पे शेयर करना चाहते हैं. I want to invite Mr. Vineet Kela, who will take you through about our new recommendation of Gati Limited. So over to you, Vineet.
Thanks a lot, Rahul. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
Perfect. So hello everyone, and at the outset, thank you so much for logging in for the session today. And hi, am I audible?
Yes.
Perfect. Sorry. So the topic for the day is basically Gati Limited, and it falls under logistics as a sector. So as you would be knowing, it's a very dry topic. That is, logistics as a sector. But I'll try my best to keep it, very light and simple and silly, without any nitty-gritty. So मैं मेरे तरफ से बहुत कोशिश करूँगा to keep it कि जितना easy हो सके और जितने आसान भाषा में अपन सीख सके. I'll try to do that. Okay, but at the same time, matlab, जो important key takeaways is something that we should understand. Also, Rahul told me that we have audience from all over India, so I'll be switching between Hindi and English. और किसको भी language में कुछ भी issue हो, so please feel free to put it on the chat box. आप chat box में डाल दीजिए, and I'll pivot accordingly. If there is any doubt, आपके पास कोई भी doubt है तो presentation के बाद please feel free to ask questions. Okay, so I'll just present my screen. Is it visible, Rahul?
Yeah, it is visible.
Perfect, fantastic. Yeah, so as I mentioned, stock idea for the day is Gati, but I don't want you to focus on Gati per se. मैं चाहता हूँ कि one second, there are perfect. I don't want you to focus on the stock idea, but I want you to focus on the thought process. कि मैं कौन से thought process से we are selecting the sector, selecting the stock, and even in the stock हम लोग क्या देखते हैं क्या नहीं देखना चाहिए. So it should be a session from which we don't not only take away the stock idea that is Gati, but also learn about basically the investment framework that we work with. Okay, as far as picking new stocks are concerned. So that is I want to share. So as I mentioned, that I want to share my thought process on stock picking basically, rather than Gati to be the key takeaway here. So I wanted to start with the basic investment framework. Okay, कि ये सब चीजें minimum होनी चाहिए for us to look at any new idea. Okay, and there are these 4 to 5 basic things which should be there in any particular idea. So of these things, there are few things on the sector side that we should be looking at, and few things on the company side that we should be looking at. Okay, so on the sector side, I mean, I have written that the sector should be in tailwind. Okay, when I say tailwind, is that कि वो sector में थोड़ा growth होना चाहिए. Okay, कोई pressure नहीं होना चाहिए, and the sector should grow more than India's GDP, right? So अभी ये चीज जो है हम लोग को काफी importance, I mean, देनी चाहिए. Just to give an example, best quality companies, that is the FMCG companies, Nestle हो या फिर Britannia या फिर Bajaj Consumer, Asian Paints, they have underperformed Nifty massively over last 1.5 years. Okay, after the entire COVID bottom happened. So वो level से Nifty 2.5 times बढ़ गया. As Rahul said, Nifty has touched the highs of 18,600 from 7,500. But at the same time, these consumer names, they are almost on a 1-year basis. They've given flattish or negative returns, and these are fantastic businesses. Okay. At the same time, if we look at commodities, right? So commodities are a sector in massive tailwind. कि मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा तेजी है because demand supply mismatch है, and there are many other factors. So sectors which are under tailwind perform massively. So you look at Tata Steel, look at Vedanta, and look at other commodity focused stocks. Given the tailwind which is so strong, कि मतलब जो पीछे का demand push या फिर जो भी disruption होता है, if the sector is under tailwind, so all the stocks would perform a lot in those particular sectors. So that is one of my minimum requirement, that the sector should have some kind of tailwind. Okay. Secondly, if I'm investing in a stock, I want to outperform the markets, right? And markets outperform on GDP growth. कि मतलब अगर निफ्टी को यहाँ से मतलब जो भी रिटर्न दे रहा है, that is on the basis of how India is going to grow, right? So if I want to outperform Nifty, my sector should be growing at least above India's GDP growth rate. Okay, so that is my second criteria. So these are the two criteria, that sector should be under tailwind and sector growth should be more than India's GDP growth. Now coming to the company part, I want my company to be the one of the leaders in the sector. So I want my company to grow faster than the sector, right? कि अगर मैं कोई कंपनी सिलेक्ट करता हूँ, so I want them to gain market share and to मतलब be very efficient kind of operators in those sectors. So इसको मैं break down करता हूँ कि I want my particular company to basically perform better than the competition. So that is where these two criteria are. कि company should be growing more than the sectorial growth rate and definitely India's GDP growth rate, and company should be gaining market share. Okay. And my last criteria is basically there should be a clear, visible margin expansion story which should be there. कि मतलब कि company के earnings जो है next 2 से 3 साल में बढ़नी चाहिए. Okay. So just to give you a perspective, the reason why in month of say like after post-COVID, FMCG companies are not doing well is because there is a clear-cut margin pressure because of the raw material side, right? So हम लोग भी देखते हैं कब commodities सारी बढ़ गई है, the cost of agri commodities, आपकी जो input cost हो रही है सबकी बढ़ गई है, so वो reason से सबको margin pressure होते हैं. So जहाँ पे भी margin pressure होगा तो वो stock ज़्यादा चलने नहीं वाला है. At the same time जहाँ पे भी margin expansion होता है कि over last 3 years बहुत सारी chemical companies में बहुत बड़ा margin expansion आया. At the same time if you look at commodities, you look at steel stocks, वहाँ पे बहुत बड़ा margin expansion हुआ है. So जहाँ पे भी margin expansion होगा वो stocks बहुत ज़्यादा करेंगे. So whenever we are looking to invest in any companies, these are the broader base minimum requirements that we should be having. I'll just repeat it for the sake of it. So one is basically the sector में कोई pressure नहीं होना चाहिए, sector में tailwind होना चाहिए कि sector में तेजी लगनी चाहिए over next 2 years. Sector का growth at least India के GDP growth से ज़्यादा होना चाहिए. That is second thing. Third thing is that the company that you are going for should outperform the sector. कि company at least अपने sector में market share gain कर रहा हो, means it is doing something right operationally. And fourth thing is basically कि जो company है या फिर जो भी company है उसकी margins जो है वो next 2 to 3 years expand होनी चाहिए from the current base. Okay? जब भी margin expansion होती है तभी valuation re-rating भी बहुत ज़्यादा fast होती है. Okay? So with this background, I want to basically start, and the approach that I'm using is a top-down kind of a research methodology. So when I go say top-down, so आज का topic गति है, but गति discuss करने के पहले I also want to discuss कि basically हम लोग logistics sector क्यों देख रहे हैं, why are we bullish on the logistics sector? That is one thing. अभी logistics भी बहुत बड़ा sector है, उसमें आता है transportation, warehousing, value added services. तो हम लोग को ज्यादा तेजी कहाँ पे लग रही है, what segment of the sector that we are more positive on, that is the second thing. और वो sector में मतलब how are we going about selecting the companies. So I just don't want to discuss about a company कि गति खाली गति discuss नहीं करना. I want you to understand basically our thought process on how we are selecting the sector, how we are selecting the sub sectors, and also basically what are our thought process on the company, which is the final part of it. So when we look at logistics, right? Logistics एक बहुत बड़ा sector है. If I look at from a size perspective, it is 10% of India's GDP. So it is a massive sector, right? But what does logistics mean, right? So logistics inherently होता है transportation and storage of goods from one place to another. लॉजिस्टिक्स इज एनीथिंग मतलब कि अगर कोई एक फैक्ट्री से दूसरे फैक्ट्री तक या एक सिटी से दूसरे सिटी तक गुड्स को ट्रांसपोर्ट करना है या वेयरहाउसिंग करनी है, सो ऑल ऑफ दैट फॉल्स अंडर लॉजिस्टिक्स. सो व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट मूवमेंट ऑफ गुड्स, राइट, सो मूवमेंट ऑफ गुड्स इज बेसिकली एक्टिविटी, अ लॉट ऑफ इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी. And when we talk about economic activity, one thing that comes to our mind is basically the GDP. क्योंकि GDP is something which is basically the level of activity in any economy. So logistics is a sector which is at the forefront of is at the center of the economy, and it is a sector which tends to do very very well when the economy is doing well, and tends to be under immense amount of pressure when the economy is under pressure. Okay, so ये point मैं और discuss करता हूँ, and that is the same reason why मतलब if we look at over last couple of years, so economy में काफी pressure रहा है कि मतलब right from because of demonetization, GST, COVID, economic activity जो है, okay, that has come down significantly, and at the same time with activity coming down significantly, movement of goods have come down significantly, and for that reason, I mean, over last 4-5 years, logistics as a sector has not done really well as far as India is concerned. But at the same time, if we think about this particular business from a business owner perspective, एक काम करते हैं कि let us think as if we are truck owners. So सोचते हैं कि if we have 10 trucks worth 2 crore rupees, okay, and we have EMIs, that is we have loans worth 1 crore rupees, so we have constant EMIs to be paid. Okay, so एक business owner के perspective से सोचते हैं, so we'll be able to understand the cyclicality in the sector. अभी क्या होता है कि as a business owner during GST demonetization or before that, there was serious disruptions as far as the movement of goods was there. So जब as a fleet owner, if I was operating between Ahmedabad and Mumbai, so मेरा business काफी pressure में आ गया था. So my top line got impacted significantly. Okay. At the same time, all my running costs, all my EMIs are on. Okay. So from a business owner perspective, my driver's salary, driver's allowance, my overheads, my EMIs, they are constantly up and running. So whenever there is even a small impact on the economy, there is a larger impact on basically my P&L as a business owner. At the same time, post COVID in last 2 to 3 months, what has happened is basically economic activity has increased significantly because we are coming out of the lockdown, right? So एक unlock हो रहा है. So as soon as economic activity increases, क्या होता है कि मतलब फैक्ट्री ओनर्स को बहुत ज्यादा मतलब फ्लीट्स नहीं मिलती, मतलब ट्रक्स वो सेम रूट पे बहुत ज्यादा नहीं मिलता. सो मेरी टॉप लाइन जो है, मेरी प्राइसिंग जो है बहुत बढ़ जाती है. सो फ्रॉम अहमदाबाद टू बॉम्बे, से फॉर एग्जांपल आई वाज चार्जिंग 100 rupees. Now during demonetization, now I'm charging anywhere between 200 to 300 rupees, right? So मेरी top line बढ़ती है, at the same time, I mean, my costs are at the same base. So the impact on the profitability is significant. So the point that I'm trying to derive is that logistics as a sector in a good economy would do very well, and in a bad economy would do very badly. Okay, so it goes in मतलब कि या तो very good होता है या तो very bad होता है, because most of these companies, they are very heavy on asset base. सबके पास warehousing बोल लो, trucking बोल लो, they sit on very huge asset base, right? And at the same time सबके cost fixed होते हैं, but top line जो है वो economic activity के basis पे vary होती जाती है. So that is one thing. Okay, so if we assume that from here on India's economy has to do at least like 8 to 10% over next 2 years, logistics as a sector would do phenomenally well, okay, over next 2 years, because as I mentioned के अच्छे period में बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा करता है. Okay, and but beyond only the Indian economy doing well, there are some structural changes that have happened as far as the logistics as a sector is concerned over last 2 years, which has improved the overall efficiency of the sector. Correct? तो मैं अभी efficiency की बात करता हूँ, तो just एक example देता हूँ. अगर कोई भी globally कोई भी country में, if a truck has to travel 1,000 kilometers, so they do that in over 2 days. Okay. But cut to India, it takes more than 3 days for a truck to travel basically 1,000 odd kilometers. So what would happen for an Indian operator? Basically, for the company, it is higher cost. Okay, मैं driver की allowances देता हूँ for all the 3 days. Okay. Secondly, a lot of from a client perspective, मेरा अगर goods in transit 3 दिन रहता है, so I lose 3 days worth of basically the indirect cost on inventory. कि मेरे inventory को point A से point B 3 दिन लगता है, so I'm losing that sale amount, right? It is a very notional cost, but that is a cost to be considered. Okay, so there is that notional loss which is also there. And secondly, if I basically look at the overall cost per kilometer for a company, it goes up by more than 40 odd %. So India में जो logistics as a sector था, it is very very inefficient as a sector, right? Vis-a-vis global players. So over last 2 to 3 years, what has happened? Why these inefficiencies were there? So one thing is basically, अगर आप मतलब if you have traveled, so I live in Mumbai. So basically, whenever we used to cross Gujarat border, we used to see a lot of trucks waiting there before GST, waiting there for more than 12, 16 odd hours just to get those interstate clearances. So that was one reason. After e-way bill implementation, that 16, 17 hours has come down to around 2 to 3 hours. So that is a big saving as far as the driver's cost and even the efficiency of movement of inventory is concerned. So वो एक बहुत बड़ी positive चीज हो गई है. Second thing is basically the quality of roads. If I look at the quality of roads after the Modi government has come in post 2014, that has improved significantly, especially the national highways are concerned. So even the from a logistics perspective, turnaround time, that is how much time you take from point A to point B, and also your maintenance and breakage costs and your tire changing costs, that depends a lot on the quality of infra, though that is not a big element, but that is some part of the element. So there are these reforms which have improved basically overall turnaround time from point A to point B, which includes GST and e-way bill, and also the quality of infra, which has given some kind of tailwind for these logistics sectors to operate at a much better kind of EBITDA margins. अभी इसमें दूसरी चीज ये भी है कि पहले क्या होता था, so there are two third thing is basically market share gains by organized players. So logistics as a sector, 96% of the operators were unorganized. Okay, only 4% organized, 96 is unorganized. So if you think from any client perspective, before GST, what used to happen is basically there is a VRL, which is a listed organized player, and then there is an unorganized player. Both of them, okay, come to you, and VRL says के मैं आपके लिए ये अहमदाबाद से मुंबई पहुंचा दूंगा आपकी cements at around 120 rupees. And the unorganized guy, because he is operating at he's not paying all the taxes, he's operating on cash, so he would be okay to operate at a much lower kind of pricing level also. So from a client perspective, I would give the business to an unorganized guy, right? So उसमें क्या होता था कि a lot of the unorganized fleet owners who are operating less than 10 trucks or so have flooded the market, and they were operating at a much lower pricing vis-a-vis the organized guys, and that used to happen rampantly pre GST. So uske वजह से there was no parity as such, and the organized guys were basically losing on a lot of business to these unorganized guys. But cut to post GST and e-way bill implementation, there is a lot of that pricing gap जो मतलब के एक होता है कि white के bill और black के bill के बीच में होता था, that has come down significantly, and almost everyone is forced to pay or compelled to pay significant amount of taxes. So वो जो pricing differential था वो एक parity पे आ गया. So for that reason, what is happening is that the unorganized players are gaining massive market share over the organized players, right? Sorry, organized players are gaining massive market share over unorganized players. So जो मैंने बोला कि 4 to 96 है, what we expect is that over next 4 to 5 years, that 4 to go up to around 8. So next 5 years, even organized market share doubling itself would imply more than 20-25% kind of a growth for the listed space on the logistics side. Okay, and that is purely because of जो arbitrage था on the taxes and basically non-compliance, that is gone now. And specifically on the trucking side and the warehousing side of the things. So overall, what I feel is that there are 3 important things that have changed as far as logistics as a segment is concerned. One is all the reforms have brought in a lot of efficiency in terms of transportation of goods from point A to point B. That will lead to a lot of cost savings. Secondly, organized players are gaining tremendous amount of market share from unorganized players, and hence they will grow and outpace the logistic market growth as such. And thirdly, अगर economy अच्छा करने वाला है तो logistics as a sector is going to do tremendously well, right? So these are the three reasons why I've chosen logistics, and I like logistics as a sector. Now, second part of our basically thought process is basically what in logistics. के मतलब अभी तक अपन ने इतना establish कर लिया है कि logistics is a good sector to play if you are playing on the economy. It is going to grow at GDP growth rate and everything. But logistics में खेलने का क्या, right? So logistics में तीन segments है. First is basically traditional transport logistics. Second is storage. कि मैंने आपको logistics का भी definition दिया था. What I said was basically transportation and storage of goods from point A to point B. Okay. So one is traditional transport, second is storage, and third is value-added services. So अभी मैं आपको point by point समझाता हूँ. Okay, what segment means what, right? So let me get to storage as an example. So storage means warehousing. Warehousing would include warehousing near ports. That includes container freight station and ICDs, and warehousing beyond that also, which would include your traditional warehouses. Okay. So abhi ye jo business, one way to play logistics is through warehousing. Okay. Second way to play logistics is through traditional transport operators. And when I say traditional transport operators, what I mean is basically, you play it through trucking companies. So when I say trucking companies, it would mean, the asset owners basically. And third is value-added services. So in order for me to explain you better what is traditional transport and what is value-added service, let me give an example. It will help you to understand better. So समझ लो कि you are Ambuja Cements and you have a plant in Ahmedabad, okay, and basically you want your cement to go to Mumbai, and Mumbai is in Maharashtra. अभी cement होता है वो काफी volumetric product होता है, okay, and you want to go from point A to point B. So what you do is basically you go to a VRL Logistics and you tell him कि boss तुम लोग मेरे को अहमदाबाद से मुंबई तक का मेरे को 20 ट्रक्स चाहिए. आप लोग मेरे गोडाउन से कलेक्ट करो सीमेंट एंड यू पुट ट्रांसपोर्ट इट टू मुंबई. सो व्हाट वुड वीआरएल डू इज दैट के वो अंबुजा के गोडाउन से माल लेगा और मुंबई में छोड़ देगा. बट फ्रॉम अ वीआरएल्स पर्सपेक्टिव, नाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड कि वीआरएल इज अ ट्रक ओनर, राइट? उसके पास इतनी ट्रक्स है, उसको अभी एफिशिएंट बनना है, तो वो क्या करेगा कि मैंने अहमदाबाद से मुंबई तो ट्रक्स भेज दी, बट आई नीड टू गेट एन ऑर्डर फ्रॉम मुंबई टू अहमदाबाद आल्सो, राइट? सो फ्रॉम अ ट्रेडिशनल ट्रांसपोर्ट पर्सपेक्टिव इट इज वेरी रूट स्पेसिफिक कि आपको एक रूट में, एक स्पेसिफिक रूट में यू नीड टू बी अ चैंपियन इन दैट पर्टिकुलर रूट सो दैट यू आर एबल टू. आपके फ्लीट्स भी है, मतलब अगर मैंने 20 ट्रक्स अहमदाबाद से मुंबई भेजी है तो 20 के 20 ट्रक्स मुझे मुंबई से अहमदाबाद भी लानी है, और वो भी फुल ऑर्डर के साथ. Okay, only then I can be efficiently operating my operations. So VRL, if VRL is a large player in that particular route, it has to have, मतलब उसको दोनों साइड धंधा लाना पड़ेगा. Okay, so if as a say for example a cement company, I'll have a volumetric order, so I'll go to a VRL, right? So that is what traditional transport is. Secondly, if I have say like I'm a cement company and I would want के मतलब के मेरे मुंबई में अभी 100 डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स है, so वो सारे डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स मेरे गोडाउन से लेके जाएंगे. Okay, but I don't have a godown, my own godown in basically Mumbai. So what I would do is that I would go to a warehousing company and dump all my cement in that warehousing company for say like 1 week, और मेरे डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स वो गोडाउन से ही लेके जाएंगे. Okay, so from a warehousing company perspective, what I do is that I'm an owner of land. Okay, and basically मैंने land पे काफी invest कर दिया, and I lease out my space to many of these companies. Okay, so अभी ये जो first two business models है, उसमें क्या होता है कि they are asset heavy operators. कि फॉर एग्जांपल कि अगर VRL की भी बात करूं या फिर ये वेयरहाउसिंग कंपनीज की भी बात करूं, so they are investing upfront and investing huge sums in basically those assets. VRL के केस में वो ट्रक्स हो गया and warehousing companies में land and building की होगी, और बाद में over a period of time they keep on earning their lease rents or basically the rentals from trucks. So that is how the business is. But overall अगर आप देखें कि you are investing 100 rupees in that particular land, और generally warehouses में आपका बनता है पैसा around 6 रुपया. So that is a kind of a, I mean, I don't want to be invested in such business, right? और वहाँ पे business growth तभी होगा जब भी if I keep on expanding my warehouses, right? Even in case of VRL, it is an asset heavy operation. So what would happen is that beyond a point, I would need to have extreme level of efficiency that definitely VRL has. But at the same time, I need to keep on expanding my routes. I need to keep on expanding my fleet size and everything. So मुझे assets में continuously invest करना पड़ता है. But जब भी economic downturn आता है, at that time, I mean, demand कम हो जाएगी. So my P&L is going to be disruptive massively. So I don't like these kind of businesses, right? जहाँ पे which are asset heavy, which have low EBITDA margin, and which have low kind of growth. Okay, so these are the two businesses which I don't like. As I mentioned earlier, as a part of my investment framework, I like companies which have improving ROCs, के मतलब कम capital में ज़्यादा कमाती हो, मुझे वो company ज़्यादा पसंद है. So at the same time, मतलब there is a business segment which is called as value added services. So now I'll explain what these value added services are for you to understand better के मतलब के how do they operate. So let us say कि during COVID, Sun Pharma has its factory in Baroda, right? And during COVID, uske, for example, if Sun Pharma was manufacturing, okay, let's take Zydus Cadila as an example. Zydus Cadila was manufacturing remdesivir, right? So let us say कि Zydus Cadila had to supply remdesivir immediately, okay, immediately to all the metro cities, okay, from its factory in Ahmedabad, okay. So अभी वो क्या करेगा? As a company, I am too busy in manufacturing all the drugs and manufacturing all the vaccines. तो मेरे पास टाइम नहीं अभी एक डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर को मैं वो logistics provide कर पाऊँ. So what I do, I go to someone like a Gatti, I go to someone like a TCI Express, okay, and tell them कि आप अहमदाबाद से ये consignment लो and distribute. मैं आपको 100 मतलब कि for example आपको 100 units 100 boxes दे रहा हूँ, उसमें से आप 10 boxes 10 अलग-अलग cities में भेजनी है आपको. Okay, so what would happen is that Zydus अपने 100 boxes Gati के गोडाउन में रख देगा. What Gati would do is that sort those 100 boxes into 10 separate units, और एक बॉक्स जाएगा फॉर एग्जांपल दिल्ली में, एक बॉक्स जाएगा कोलकाता में, एक बॉक्स जाएगा चेन्नई में, एक बॉक्स जाएगा मुंबई में. So they would go from its branch in Ahmedabad to 10 different cities. Okay, now abhi for example it is something which is very mission critical, right? कि वो remdesivir आपको end destination which is the hospitals या फिर आपके जो भी local distributors है वो लोग के गोडाउन में as soon as possible पहुंचे. अगर मैं मुंबई वो 10 boxes आ भी गए, so मुंबई जो जहाँ पे गति ने boxes रखे वहां से लेके end जहाँ पे distributor है वहां पे भी पहुंचाने का काम गति का ही होता है. So what Gati would do is that कि मुंबई में 10 boxes पहुंच गए, उसमें 10 अलग-अलग distributors को देना है, तो end-to-end logistics अगर जो service provide करनी है, that is provided by these express logistics companies. Okay, but from a business owner perspective अभी समझते हैं कि मतलब कि Gati is operating on a pan India basis, right? कि वो 99% pin codes cover करता है कि if you have to send anything to any of the pin code in India, you can do it through Gati. So अभी उसके पास मतलब कि it needs to have branch in these 99 network, and at the same time it needs to have a lot of fleet size in these 99 odd मतलब cities. So अभी क्या होगा? It is virtually impossible for Gati to have such a huge काइंड ऑफ बेसिकली नेटवर्क ऑफ सिस्टम, राइट, कि हर एक सिटी में वो अपने वेयर हाउसिंग या हर एक सिटी में बेसिकली फ्लीट्स नहीं रख सकता. सो गति क्या करता है कि अगर से फॉर एग्जांपल VRL इज अ चैंपियन और अ लीडर इन अहमदाबाद टू मुंबई रूट in trucking, so it would lease out VRL services, and at the same time if All Cargo or Gateway District Park or मतलब any other warehousing service is a leader in Mumbai warehousing, कि उसके पास मुंबई में warehouses होते हैं, so what Gati would do is that lease out that space from a warehousing company. So inherently what Gati does or TCI Express does is not to invest in your own assets, बट वो बोलते हैं कि यार इतनी सारी ट्रकिंग कंपनीज है और यहाँ पे ओवर कैपेसिटी है, वेयरहाउसिंग में भी ओवर कैपेसिटी है. सो व्हाट दे वुड डू इज दैट दे वुड लीज आउट अ लॉट ऑफ दीज सर्विसेज फ्रॉम द अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड प्लेयर्स और द एग्जिस्टिंग प्लेयर्स, एंड दे ऑपरेट ऑन अ वेरी एसेट लाइट मोड. ओके, अभी सिमिलरली व्हाट दे डू एंड व्हाट दे चैंपियन इज कि अगर VRL इज ऑपरेटिंग समथिंग ऑन अ वेरी कुछ चीज अगर उसको बेचनी है, so VRL operates on a very cost efficient basis. अगर सीमेंट एक सिटी से दूसरे सिटी तक भेजना, it is okay if it आराम से आए और उसमें मतलब के the cost of transport there is very important. But अगर if for example if he is sending something like a remdesivir from point A to point B, the turnover time, that is the time to transport from one city to another city, is very very critical. And hence मतलब जो गति के clients होते हैं या फिर TCI Express के clients होते हैं, they are very very cost inefficient, but at the same time they want express delivery from a door to door service. Okay, so I just wanted to spend some time in order to differentiate between these segments, and we have to understand कि जो value added service या फिर जो मतलब end to end service express logistics as a segment होता है, उसमें they are asset light. Okay, so they are working on a very low capital base. Okay, so even when the markets basically इकोनॉमी स्लोज डाउन, तो आपको डायरेक्ट इम्पैक्ट इतना बड़ा नहीं आता बिकॉज यू आर ऑलरेडी ऑपरेटिंग ऑन अ वेरी लो एसेट बेस. एट द सेम टाइम आपके जो मार्जिन होते हैं एज अ ट्रकिंग कंपनी, योर मार्जिन जनरली आर अराउंड 3 to 4% बट एज अ एक्सप्रेस लॉजिस्टिक्स कंपनी यू चार्ज अ प्रीमियम बिकॉज यू आर गिविंग देम अ वैल्यू एडेड सर्विस ऑफ प्रोवाइडिंग डोर टू डोर सर्विस and also taking care of all the logistics from point to point, all the warehousing and etc. So basically our margins are also very high and the entry barriers are very very high. So from a traditional transport perspective, अगर मैं कल 5 ट्रक्स या 10 ट्रक्स ले लेता हूँ 1 करोड़ रुपया डाल के, so even I become a traditional transport company, right? But if I want to become a pan India express logistics play, so I won't be able to handle that. कि भले मेरे पास asset नहीं है, but I need to basically have huge volumes for me to have some kind of margins in this value added segment. So when I say huge volume, just imagine कि गति ने VRL के 10 ट्रक्स लीज पे लिए है या फिर एक वेयरहाउस लीज पे लिया है, उसके पास खाली जायडस कैडिला का ऑर्डर नहीं बट गुजरात से और 10 और ऑर्डर्स होने चाहिए in order to fully occupy those trucks or fully occupy those warehouses. Only then Gati would be somewhat basically do well in terms of margins. So इसका सबसे बड़ा entry barrier scale है, and that is where it is very difficult to enter these express logistics as a business. So till now what we have discussed is basically logistics as a sector मेरे को अच्छा लगता है because of these reasons. And in logistics as a sector, what I feel is that I want to be invested in companies which are asset light and which earn higher ROCs and which earn, which have much better kind of growth. Because market mein, since all of you are also, investors in the market for a long time, we would have realized like jo companies constantly sales growth dikhati hai at a very higher ROCs, they tend to get a much better multiple. And that is where agar ye express B2B segment mein multiples dikhte hai, so PEs are upwards of around 40-50 times and EV to EBITDA is more than around 30-35 times. Okay, so even the institutional investors ka ye favorite hota hai because it is an asset light model. They have a much higher ROC and the growth is also really really fantastic. So this is just basically जो मैं समझा रहा था कि ट्रकिंग वर्सेस एक्सप्रेस का क्या डिफरेंस है. यहाँ पे मैं की डिफरेंशिएटर्स आपको हाईलाइट करता हूँ. ये लोग टाइम इनसेंसिटिव होते हैं, सो 5 से 6 दिन के बीच में भी, सॉरी 5 से 6 दिन के ऊपर भी अगर वो सप्लाई करते हैं, सो इट इज ओके, बट एट द सेम टाइम एक्सप्रेस में इट इज वेरी टाइम सेंसिटिव. ओके, आप एबिटा मार्जिन भी देखो, जो ट्रकिंग कंपनीज होती है उसकी एबिटा मार्जिन 2 to 4% होती है, बट एक्सप्रेस बिजनेस में एबिटा मार्जिन आर अराउंड 9 to 12%. ROCs are 3 times the trucking companies, and even if you look at basically the expected growth rate, so जो normal trucking companies है उससे 10 से 12% की sector growth rate जो है is what I feel, what industry feels that they would do over next 4 to 5 years. But at the same time, if you look at express logistics as a business, they are expected to grow at more than around 20-24%. So अगर यार बॉस सेक्टर ही 20-24% ग्रो करने वाला है ईयर ऑन ईयर बेसिस पे वो नेक्स्ट 4 to 5 years, even you take any player in this particular sector, you are going to earn a lot of money. So that is where if you go back to my investment framework, I said always be invested in a sector where there is strong sectorial tailwinds. Okay, so now hum log from coming to logistics, or logistics say we have come down to the express logistics service. Abhi express logistics service mein listed mein ye 3 players hai. Okay, so abhi aur hum log dive down karte hain कि मतलब कि what is the best play or best way to play express logistics as a business, right? So in listed we have 3 players. One is Gati, TCI Express and Blue Dart. But market cap of Gati is 1900 crore rupees, Express TCI Express is 8700 crore rupees, while Blue Dart is around 16,000 crore rupees. But if I look at the operations, right, so मैंने बोला Gati और TCI Express, they operate largely on the road transport side, wherein basically they use a lot of trucks for their transportation. But if I look at Blue Dart, it is a industry leader as far as air express is concerned. So when I talk about Air Express, it owns a lot of fleets as far as aircrafts are concerned, and also it owns a lot of the logistical network. So वो reason से वो asset heavy बन जाता है. So though it is an express B2B segment, it follows an asset heavy operations because it is very difficult to get basically aircrafts on hire. It is very easy to get trucks on hire. So for that reason, it is asset heavy. And as I mentioned, I don't like asset heavy businesses, right? कि उसके ROCs जो है काफी कम रहती है. So if you see TCI Express 40% ROCE करता है, but at the same time Blue Dart does around 17% ROCs, right? So for that reason, I mean कि हम लोग हमारा जो bucket है और भी कम करते हैं. So from logistics we came to express logistics. In express logistics, from our bucket we are removing Blue Dart, right? So we have only 2 companies to look at. So one is Gati and one is TCI Express, right? So दोनों बहुत ही similar business model follow करती है. और एक interesting चीज है कि Gati in 2016-17 was a leader in express B2B segment. It was the number 1 player in express B2B segment. But the market cap is 1/4 of TCI Express. Even if I look at the revenues from the express business, so revenues are more than TCI Express on a FY20 basis. In FY22, it would be sort of similar. So similar revenues, similar market share, but your market cap is 1/4. So अभी हम लोग को समझना है कि why would basically investors give so much premium to TCI Express, and historically कि Gati has underperformed. So even if I look at the margins, TCI Express के margins काफी अच्छे हैं, and ROCs are also quite a lot higher, right? So let us understand why TCI Express has done so well and why Gati hasn't done as well as TCI Express. Yeah. So TCI Express का एक reason समझते हैं कि TCI Express, the reason why it has done phenomenally well. So first was because of it always remained an asset-light business. So Gati ने क्या किया कि Gati, in order to expand its margin in 2015-16, उसने अपना investment किया in fuel station, in trucks. So वो investment किया, उसके लिए debt लेना पड़ा. अभी debt लिया और उसके बाद क्या हुआ? The capital base kept on increasing. So when you are up, उतना ही सेल और उतना ही प्रॉफिट कमा रहे हो. सो अज्यूम यू आर डूइंग अराउंड 1000 crore ऑफ सेल एंड यू आर अर्निंग 10%, that is 100 crore in earnings, but you have employed around 1000 crore of asset, so your ROCs are 10%. But at the same time, if you are able to do the same sales at much lower capital base, आपके ROCs जो है काफी ज्यादा होती है. So firstly, Gati, okay, with its previous promoter, made a lot of capital allocation mistakes, including investing into fuel pumps, investing into cold storage businesses, and investing into a lot of trucks. जो करने की जरूरत नहीं थी तो भी वो लोग के पास पैसे थे, वो लोग ने किया, वो लोग ने लेवरेज लिया. सो वो रीजन से क्या हुआ कि मतलब कि व्हाट हैपेंड इज बेसिकली वो लोग के आरओसी जो है काफी डिप हो गए. एट द सेम टाइम दे नेवर फोकस्ड अ लॉट ऑन basically their efficiencies. So if I look at operational efficiencies also, Gati operates at 70% utilization. Okay. At the same time, TCI Express was operating at 90% utilization, right? And for that reason, TCI Express was doing 2 times the EBITDA margins of Gati. So abhi, what investors like, as I mentioned, okay, what investors prefer is basically they really like asset light businesses and margins जो है काफी अच्छे होने चाहिए और ग्रोथ होना चाहिए. और जो businesses अच्छी ROCs कमाती है and have all these ingredients, they do phenomenally well as far as the stock price is also concerned. So if I look at 2016 December में TCI Express got listed, and if I look at the stock price performance from there, so TCI Express has gone up by around 6 times. At the same time, Gati is almost flat on a 6-year basis. And इसमें मतलब ये भी बताता हूँ कि Gati was the number 1 player as far as the market share is concerned. So Express B2B में number 1 player था, अभी TCI Express number 1 player है. So over last 6 years, Gati has lost a lot of ground on account of these inefficiencies of capital allocation and inefficiencies of basically the business model. Okay. और वो डेट के इश्यू में भी आ गया था, एंड दैट इज वेयर द प्रमोटर्स आल्सो हैड टू एग्जिट. और ओवर लास्ट आई थिंक May post COVID, what happened is that All Cargo took over the company. So after All Cargo taking over company, now अभी मैं वो रीजन पे आता हूँ कि गति ने अभी तक तो अच्छा नहीं किया, but why am I very positive on Gati basically from here on. Okay. So All Cargo, which is also a leader as far as logistics is concerned, it is a very big player as far as logistics is concerned. It's a listed company. All Cargo took over Gati from its promoters, okay, in May. और All Cargo ने क्या किया कि हम लोग काम करते हैं कि let us turn around from a loss making company to a profitable company. So as a part of the turnaround, वो लोग ने 3 चीजें की. ओके, फर्स्टली वो लोग ने पूरा का पूरा गति का मैनेजमेंट है चेंज कर दिया, एंड दे गॉट इन फैंटास्टिक पीपल. सो देयर गति's न्यू सीईओ इज मिस्टर फिल सरकारी, पिरोक्षा सरकारी करके नाम है उनका, एंड ही इज द एक्स सीईओ ऑफ महिंद्रा लॉजिस्टिक्स एंड यूपीएस इंडिया. सो यूपीएस इंडिया एक एमएनसी कंपनी थी जो उन्होंने 2000 अर्ली 2000s में लीड किया था, and he scaled that company from zero to $1 billion business. उसके बाद वो महिंद्रा लॉजिस्टिक्स में आए. So महिंद्रा लॉजिस्टिक्स को भी 0 से $1 billion का बिजनेस बनाने वाले पिरोक्षा सरकारी ही है. So what I feel is that him coming to Gati during at the cusp of the turnaround, it is very say like big signal as far as the management change is concerned. And management change के अलावा भी वो लोग ने strategies में भी थोड़ी changes की है. So मैंने बताया कि Gati's promoter did a lot of capital allocation mistakes in terms of investing into land, assets, fuel stations, fleets. So first thing after they came in, वो लोग ने क्या बोला कि Gati is very debt. Gati has a lot of debt, right? तो हम लोग को पहले तो debt free company बनना है. Okay. Second thing is that कि जो भी non-core assets है या non-core business है, I want to get out of that. Okay. And third thing, I want to focus on a lot of technology phase focused asset light operations. Okay, so these are the 3 things they did. And in their first con call बोला कि हम लोग ये 3 चीज करेंगे, and those things are progressing very well. And over next 2 to 3 years they laid out 3 aspirations. वो लोग ने 3 गाइडेंस दिए कि दैट by FY25 they would increase their market share by 2 times. Okay, they would increase their EBITDA margins by 2 times, and they would increase their ROCs by 3 times. Okay, because and these things would happen. These are very big targets. Okay, increase your market share by 2 times, increase your EBITDA margins by 2 times, and increase your ROCs by 3 times. And this would be on the back of the entire debt reduction and exiting the non-core assets, and also focusing a lot on cost is concerned. वो लोग ने उसके ऊपर बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत की है. So ये reason से they are confident that by FY25 is where they should be able to achieve these numbers. So as far as debt reduction is concerned, after basically all cargo का management आया, they have been able to reduce the debt from 411 odd crore rupees to around 86 odd crore rupees. तो वो लोग ने क्या किया कि अपना जो भी लॉस मेकिंग, ट्रेडिंग, फ्यूल स्टेशन बिजनेस, अपने ट्रक्स थे वो सारे बेच दिए. लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग जो भी नॉन कोर थे वो भी सारे बेच दिए. और वो बेचते बेचते वो लोग ने डेट रीपे किया. दे सेड कि मतलब वी वांट टू बी डेट फ्री. So if I have to check their progress, that has been fantastic till now, and they have been able to reduce their debt from 411 crores to around 86 crore in H1. 86 crore is adjusted, some of the assets which are already earmarked for sale basically. So abhi if you are a businessman, right, और आपका debt एक capital employed का जो figure होता है ना वो बहुत important होता है for ROC improvement. Because as a business, if you are earning 100 rupees only on a investment which includes debt, okay, of 1000 crore, but वो 1000 crore ही 500 crore होगा और आपका जो earning remains constant, तो आपके ROCs जो है वो काफी expand हो जाती है. Okay, sorry. Similarly, Gati का जो capital employed है because of these debt reduction initiatives has come down significantly from 1000 crore to 600 odd crore rupees. So ये capital base ही उसका कम हो गया है, and with that only their ROC should come down significantly. Okay, because वो लोग के जो profit making businesses they have not sold, वही businesses बेचे हैं जो loss making थे और they are not giving optimal kind of profitability. So they have exited that. Beyond that also what they have done is that वो लोग ने 1000 employees जो है वो reduce कर दिया है. They have reduced their admin and overhead costs. What they realize is that since All Cargo is the promoter of Gati, there are a lot of cost savings that happened, synergies that took place. So they were able to save a lot on rental costs, admin overheads, and employee costs. वो लोग ने सारी trucks भी अपनी बेच दी है. So basically, instead of having their own trucks or trucks का maintenance and drivers and all that, they have gone on an extremely nimble mode. So they are very confident. Because of that क्या होगा कि मतलब आपका FY21 में जो business ने which was in a very bad shape was doing around 1% kind of an EBITDA margin, that EBITDA margin from here on should increase substantially. And that is where if you link it back to my investment thesis also, कि margin expansion is very very critical for re-rating to happen, right? कि कोई भी stock का re-rating होना है तो margin expansion is very very important. So again, if I go back to my investment framework, मैंने आपको बताया था कि I am not only sharing Gati as a stock idea, I am sharing my thought process as to how I am looking at basically the sector, the sub-segment of the sector, and then Gati. And Gati, why Gati would merit a much better multiple going forward. So let us recap basically अभी तक अपन ने जो भी discuss किया है. Okay. So if I look at the sector, right, logistics as a sector, it is in tailwinds, so it is a tick mark for me. It is expected, Express B2B is now my sector that I'm playing, and it is expected to grow by around 22 odd % versus GDP growth rate of 8 to 10 odd % for India. So even that is a tick mark for me. If I come to my company section, management has guided कि वो लोग अपना market share they'll increase significantly, and that is on the basis of the new management, the asset light businesses, and renewed focus on overall business. So Gati already had that market share. ऐसा नहीं है कि वो लोग को नया gain करना है, वो लोग को जो lost market share था वही regain करना है. So for them it is not a fresh ask. वो लोग वही बोल रहे हैं कि मेरा ये धंधा छूट गया था over last 2 years जो मैं regain कर रहा हूँ. and hence what I feel is that gaining some part of that market share should be really easy. So there is going to be market share gains for Gati vis-a-vis Express B2B segment, which is again a tick mark as far as my investment framework is concerned. And last part, margin expansion. As I mentioned, कि margin expansion अभी 8% margin था in FY21. It's a turnaround case, so margins are going to expand very aggressively from here on. So quarter on quarter जब भी growth आता है ना, so I think even market takes it very positively. So margin expansion is likely to happen very well from here on. And at the same time, ROCs जो है वो काफी improve होगी. As I mentioned, कि debt reduced by half. Debt has reduced significantly, and they would be a debt-free company over next 4 to 5 quarters. And also मतलब कि आपका business भी जो है turnaround हो रहा है, so आपके ROCs भी improve हो रहे हैं. So ये सारे जब भी ingredients एक साथ आते हैं, so it makes up for a very good story as far as the re-rating candidate is concerned, and that is where I feel very confident about Gati. Okay. So hence, going by this particular investment framework, I like Gati. Now let us come to, what is the kind of upside that I look at for Gati is concerned. So मैंने यहाँ पे probability analysis किया है. I've taken a bull case, both in terms of growth and EBITDA margins. Bull case में मैंने वो EBITDA margin assume किया है what management has guided for FY25. I have assumed in FY24, and then I've taken a base case, वहाँ पे moderate case लिया, and then I've taken a bear case के मतलब management के आने से कोई improvement ही नहीं. Okay. So if I look at the bull case and if I apply EBITDA multiple, multiple apply करता हूँ of 20 to my FY24 estimates, I come at a target price of 400 rupees, and currently the target stock price is around 150 rupees, which gives a significant upside. But for this bull case to take place, okay, we can't focus on this particular number because इसके लिए काफी execution आना बाकी है. So from a quarter on quarter basis, we'll determine the execution कि company कैसे execute कर रहा है, and only then we'll see कि मतलब कि if it merits that bull case target price of 400 rupees. But at the same time, even if I go by the base case scenario कि मतलब कि बहुत ज़्यादा execution नहीं होता है, और मतलब even if normally भी company perform करती है, so it should do at least around 200 to 230 rupees over next 1 year, which is a decent upside of around 30-35% from current levels. So what 40 odd percent from current levels. So what I feel is that Gati makes a very big case for decent returns over long term, given this particular idea. If I benchmark it to TCI Express, so TCI Express, as I mentioned, during the course of the presentation, I had mentioned ये sector को है ना बहुत high multiples मिलते हैं. So even if I look at Blue Dart is trading at 40 plus P ratio. TCI Express is trading at 45 odd P ratio, and on an EV to EBITDA basis also it is trading at 40-45 times plus kind of a multiple. And that is the reason, one of the reason why this thing is happening is because of very high ROCs and very high growth. Okay, so if I look at TCI Express, it is trading at 30 times EV EBITDA multiple on FY24 numbers. Okay, so what I feel is that के अभी का जो stock price है उसमें already peak multiples और peak growth जो है already encapsulated है. But as far as Gati is concerned, I'm taking 20 times EV EBITDA multiple, and even that would give me significant kind of an upside. So Gati currently is trading at near my bear case scenario, which gives me a lower kind of a risk and gives me decent kind of a reward if it performs well over next couple of years. So yeah, I mean, it is 5, and I think I tried to explain, my rationale for why basically logistics is a sector to play, and in logistics, Express B2B is the sector to play. I also tried to explain Gati, and Gati mein jo turnaround ho raha hai, and beyond the turnaround also, from a valuation perspective, I feel not very comfortable with Gati because of the entire turnaround taking place. What I feel is that not everything is encapsulated. Okay, so for those reasons, I feel very confident and comfortable with Gati. If you have any questions, I feel I would open the floor for Q&A. You can ask your questions on the chat box, and you can also unmute yourself and ask the questions. I hope this presentation was helpful, and please feel free to ask any questions that you have.
Yeah, Vinny, thanks. So anyone who is having any questions, so they can ask through chat box.
I think, come on, there should be some question. I think,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
there is a question on. One second.
So
Hello?
I have unmuted. Yeah, Rishabh.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I have a few questions.
Sure.
Yeah, so basically आपने जो पहले बोला था कि ये इकोनॉमी 2 साल अच्छा करेगी, 2 years मतलब 8 to 10% ग्रो करेगी. So normally the traditional trekking players they tend to do better in these times. मतलब in the best of times they are very good and the worst of times they are very bad. So from that thesis, VRL should do much better, right? The next 2 years.
Perfect. VRL will do very well, and I have no two doubts. But if I look at basically, what business I want to play, right? So कभी भी market में है ना, मतलब के cyclical businesses में आपको कम multiple मिलता है, और मतलब basically structural stories जहाँ पे downside भी आपका protected होता है, वहाँ पे investors tend to give a much better multiple, right? So if I look at all of that and I look at basically VRL inherently, आपके ROCs कभी अच्छे नहीं बनेंगे. So you have to make upfront investment. अभी VRL के पास 500 trucks है, right? So उसके लिए I mean VRL is a very efficient player. But having said that, जो आपका ROCs है वो काफी कम रहेंगे at any point of time. So even if I look at it right now, and even if I look at right now I think VRL could have ROCs of around 10 to 11%, and VRL is a fantastic capital allocator. But if the nature of the business is such is that के मतलब के उसके ROCs एक level के ऊपर नहीं बन सकते. But at the same time, if you look at TCI Express, you look at basically your Blue Dart, you look at Gatti, only the express business, आपके 30-35% के ऊपर का ROC बहुत easily बन जाता है. And for that reason, these businesses tend to get much better multiple. So I agree with you कि मतलब VRL will do fantastic. But जो multiple expansion और margin expansion का scope होता है ना, that is much higher as far as the express B2B business is concerned. So I hope that answers.
Oh, just secondly, you just said that जो one of the tailwinds you mentioned कि unorganized market share players are losing share from to organized players. So this जो आप बोल रहे हो thesis, so this should play out well in traditional or express, because express में I think mostly बड़े players ही हैं, उसमें unorganized का share बहुत कम होगा, I understand.
Perfect. I think that would play out beautifully in VRL. I like VRL, no two doubt. I mean,
I'm just comparing actually from VRL to Gatti. I will just have few points. If आप Gatti के margins की बात कर रहे हो, Gatti is at single digit margin. VRL is historically 10 साल में 15% average margins किया उसने historically, और आगे जाके वो बोल रहे हो कि market share gain हो रहा है, तो obviously और ज्यादा margins हो सकता है. और जो second point मेरा है कि I think the new management has taken over. I think 1 साल हो गया, right? All Cargo ने 1 साल almost 1 साल हो गया है. और historically September quarter का performance देखो तो इतना कुछ अच्छा नहीं किया है. मतलब they just is it in line with the historical जो पहले Gatti था before in the new management, old management, sorry.
Perfect. आपके दो questions हैं और I am very happy कि you have asked these questions, and I must tell you कि मतलब these are very interesting questions. These are very interesting question. So first आपने बोला कि basically historically VRL is doing 15% EBITDA margins, right? So उसमें अगर आप VRL का देखोगे ना कि VRL का EBITDA margins तो बनता है, but if you look at the ROCs and ROEs, वो इतने हाई नहीं होते. और ग्लोबली भी अगर आप देखोगे ना तो ट्रकिंग एज अ बिजनेस को काफी कम EBITDA मल्टीपल मिलता है. So I'm not denying कि VRL should definitely gain a lot of market share from traditional players. और मतलब मेरा जो वो पॉइंट था वो VRL के लिए स्पॉट ऑन था. But at the same time, if I have to benchmark, अगर मेरे को खेलना है, अगर आप ही सोचो ना कि अगर आपके पास 100 रुपया होता है and on that 100 rupees, if you are doing an ROC of 10 rupees versus a business that is doing a ROC of on the capital employed of around 30 to 40 rupees. So I would always prefer a asset light business higher or much better vis-a-vis a asset heavy business. That is one thing. Second thing is जब भी आप ये सेगमेंट देखते हो, एक्सप्रेस B2B सेगमेंट देखते हो, VRL का ग्रोथ होता है ना, ग्रोथ वो होगा 10 to 15% इन ट्रकिंग बिजनेस. बियॉन्ड ट्रकिंग बिजनेस VRL के बहुत सारे और बिजनेसेस भी है. So when I'm talking about the traditional trucking segment, I'm not talking about entire VRL, I'm talking about a part of VRL's business. Beyond trucking also VRL has many other businesses, right? But if I look at express B2B segment versus trucking as a business would grow at around 1.1 to 1.5 times GDP multiplier. तो उसका अगर GDP growth 8 से 10% होना है तो they would do around 14 to 15%. But if I look at express logistics, express players का जो growth होना है, okay, वो हमेशा it is a 2 times of GDP multiplier, and that was on my first slide. I'm glad you brought up this point क्योंकि मेरे से miss हो गया था. So express B2B players generally grow at 2 times the GDP, which is here. Okay, so if GDP is expected to grow at 10 odd percent, express B2B players will grow at 18 to 20%. So sector itself growing at 20% versus sector growing at 10%, I would always opt for a sector which is growing much faster. That is second point. So as far as express business is concerned, okay, and a trucking business is concerned, even with the most efficient player, मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि you go with an express business because you have much better ROCs and you have much better growth. Having said that, VRL is not a pure play traditional trucking company. Beyond trucking also it has some business segments, and it is a fantastic business, fantastic promoter, fantastic capital allocator. Over a period it has been able to maintain its level of ROCs even in a bad business. Okay, so it's a very good company in a very bad business. Okay, coming to Gati, गति में आपने बोला कि मतलब के 1.5 year हो गए और तभी भी मतलब अभी भी गति के EBITDA margins नहीं आए. That is because what Gati has been doing is that कि जो loss making businesses थी, they have been selling off them. So if you remove those one-off losses, तो गति का एक cold storage business था, which they have sold to Mandala, okay, which was a PE investor. वो cold storage business is similar to Snowman Logistics का business. And that particular business was a loss-making business. They have sold it off to Mandala. So वो सब businesses और बाद में there is also a non-core business, a trading business, freight forwarding business, fuel station business. So ये सब अभी बेच रहे हैं. ये सब businesses अभी बेच रहे हैं. उसके losses on account of discontinued operations are hitting the P&L. So P&L में भले आपको losses लगे, but अगर आप खाली pure play express का EBITDA calculate करते हो ना, in Q4 of FY21, they had an EBITDA of around 6 odd percent. Okay, so last 2 quarters back, they had an EBITDA of 6 odd percent. And if I remove all the discontinued losses, what I feel is that the EBITDA is much, much better than what it is currently visible. Correct. So what I feel is that कि जो गति का जो promoter change हुआ है, उसका एक बहुत बड़ा जो आपको टेस्टिमनी है वो यहाँ पे दिखेगा. बेसिकली जो आपका ग्रॉस डेट है इतना कम हो गया फ्रॉम 411 करोड़ टू अराउंड 86 odd crore. दैट इज वन थिंग. सेकंड थिंग इज दैट कि आपका EBITDA मार्जिन जो है, दो इट इज नॉट विजिबल राइट नाउ, बट आई फील कि आपका जो स्टेडी स्टेट EBITDA मार्जिन है बिकॉज ऑफ डिसकंटिन्यूड लॉसेस एंड वन ऑफ्स के वजह से अभी लॉसेस दिख रहा है. बट इफ आई रिमूव दोस वन ऑफ्स, इट इज ऑलरेडी अ प्रॉफिट मेकिंग कंपनी एंड इट इज मच बेटर. FY22 should be much better on a steady state basis vis-a-vis FY20 and FY21. So it is already doing very, very well. And from here on also, it should do very, very well. So I hope this answers your question on both the parameters, on VRL also and on Gati also.
Actually, I have a few more questions. Can I ask or?
Yeah, I mean, you should be asking.
Okay, so सितंबर क्वार्टर में आपने बोला कि मतलब आई एम जस्ट सीइंग द स्क्रीनर, उसमें 5% दिख रहा है. सो आप जो बोल रहे हो वन ऑफ आइटम्स एडजस्ट करके व्हाट इज द मार्जिन्स, मतलब व्हाट इज द नॉर्मलाइज्ड मार्जिन्स फॉर देम?
So not for September quarter, but I mean September quarter they had some COVID impact. But if I look at Q4 के presentation में they had given that particular number, and even the Q4 के con call में they had said that number के they were already at 6 to 7% EBITDA margins in Q4 FY21. X the discontinued losses. So this quarter they have not given that number explicitly, but if I have to quote a number, I mean Q4 they had given that number.
Okay. And इसमें I'm just trying to understand जो traditional versus express है. मतलब is it easier for VRL to get into express logistics going forward? मतलब because already network है वो है, but you know what extra उनको क्या करना पड़ेगा कि उनको मतलब they can make a dent in express logistics.
तो VRL अभी आप समझो कि मतलब VRL का बिजनेस कैसा है कि वो लोग के जो ट्रक्स होते हैं ना, they have to be champions in those routes, right? So if they are operating on a particular route, they need to, वो लोग के ट्रक्स को है ना, haulage होता है ना, वो दोनों साइड फिल करना पड़ता है and full truck load fill करना पड़ता है for them to make decent kind of EBITDA margins. Okay, so it's a very different business to be in. From a particular route to operate on a pan India basis, it requires a very different skill set. अभी एक्सप्रेस बिजनेसमैन एंट्री बैरियर्स बहुत है, एंड फर्स्ट थिंग इज बेसिकली यू नीड टू हैव स्केल on both side. One is basically from the starting side and the end side. Okay, if you are operating from say like Ahmedabad to Assam, Ahmedabad to Delhi, Ahmedabad to this place and etc. So आपके पास ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड वेयरहाउसिंग फैसिलिटी दोनों साइड की होनी चाहिए. और बाद में ऐसा नहीं है कि आप छोटे छोटे यूनिट्स में मतलब एक खाली एक एक ट्रक के बेसिस पे यहाँ पे एक्सप्रेस प्लेयर्स दे बुक दी स्लॉट्स. If they are booking के मतलब for example if I am booking something in Kolkata, मैं millions and millions of square feet of warehousing land मैं book करता हूँ, and trucks भी मैं मतलब 100 trucks book करता हूँ एक साथ. So it is a very volumetric operation, and वो volume के basis पे वो लोग बहुत ही कम cost पे they go back to the clients. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब कि they have a very big kind of pricing power. In the end, everyone is basically fighting on pricing only. But at the same time वो pricing offer कम offer इसलिए कर पाता है because they operate on a huge scale, and exactly for that reason only कि even जो ये startups जो आए हैं including delivery है या फिर आपका express bees है या फिर दूसरे भी startups है, for them to enter express B2B segment it's very difficult. So वो लोग जो है वो e-commerce के लिए करते हैं कि वहाँ पे B2C में आपका चैनल काफी अलग हो जाता है because there they don't have to operate on volumes. और वहाँ पे मतलब आपको बिजनेस टू कंज्यूमर होता है कि मतलब कि अगर मैंने कोई ऑर्डर किया चीज तो वो दिल्ली से मेरे घर पे आएगा, मेरे घर पे एक बंदा देके जाएगा एक छोटा सा पार्सल. सो एट दैट पॉइंट मतलब इट्स अ वेरी डिफरेंट बिजनेस, बट फॉर देम आल्सो टू एंटर अ पैन इंडिया बिजनेस एट अ स्केल इमीडिएटली इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. एंड फॉर दैट रीजन मतलब VRL हैज नॉट बीन एबल टू एंटर एक्सप्रेस B2B बिजनेस बिकॉज एक साथ आपको मतलब फ्रॉम अ रूट स्पेसिफिक बिजनेस to take it to a pan India business with a scale on both sides, आपको you have to मतलब even if they want to enter they can enter, but it would entail couple of years of losses till the time they get those scale, and those losses are very painful. So I don't think so VRL would be up for that also. So for that reason I mean इसमें biggest entry barrier for them is scale as far as these express B2B segment is concerned. And hence matlab VRL has not been able to answer. Forget VRL, even matlab the startups have not been able to basically penetrate in a big way as far as, so beyond e-commerce you won't see startups handling logistics for chemical companies, pharma companies, auto ancillaries and etc, while these people do because they operate on a scale and they operate on a particular pricing, correct? So for that reason it is very difficult to operate on this particular model.
अच्छा, ओके, दैट वाज यूजफुल. एंड और एक मेरे को पूछना था, ये आप जो मार्केट शेयर बोल रहे हो आपके पास कुछ डेटा है क्या कि हाउ मच डेटा हाउ मच मार्केट शेयर ऑफ द लॉस बिफोर जीएसटी, पोस्ट जीएसटी, अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड प्लेयर्स इन एक्सप्रेस और इन ट्रेडिशनल, मतलब ऐसे कोई डेटा पॉइंट है क्या? एनीथिंग यू हैव?
हां, ये आपको TCI जो एक्सप्रेस लॉजिस्टिक्स का पार्ट है, इट इज इन TCI एक्सप्रेस का प्रेजेंटेशन एंड आल्सो यू विल फाइंड इट इन द एनुअल रिपोर्ट्स. गति ने भी एक दो बार अपने गति के भी प्रेजेंटेशन में है बाय द वे the same number on the express B2B part. On the overall logistics segment ka part, I mean I got it from TCI Express's annual report, so you can look at the presentations in annual report for that.
अच्छा, और आपने जो एंट्री बैरियर का बोला कि एसेट हेवी है और दूसरी कंपनी इज एसेट लाइट, सो एसेट हेवी दैट इज दैट नॉट अ मोट टू एन एक्सटेंट, मतलब नए प्लेयर्स में भी दो बार सोचेंगे कि नहीं, वो फर्क नहीं पड़ता है मतलब.
बट आप मतलब आप यू शुड डू योर स्कटल, बट आप देख लो कि मतलब छोटे ट्रक ऑपरेटर्स इतने हैं ना, आप देखोगे. सो इन दी एंड मतलब 5 ट्रक वाला भी तो compete कर रहा है 500 ट्रक वाले के साथ, बराबर. So it is very easy to enter. Asset heavy मतलब warehousing में आपका मोट होता है, but trucking business में क्या मोट होता है? And अभी CV financing is also very easily available. So for me to have मतलब कि 10 ट्रक लेने के लिए मैं 5 ट्रक पे लोन ले लेता हूँ, 5 ट्रक खुद का इन्वेस्ट करता हूँ. So it's मतलब continuously क्या हो जाता है कि मतलब CV financing is very cheap, तो आपका competition बढ़ते ही जाता है, right? Because most of the smaller truck units operator also they would go for CV financing, they'll add more fleets. So entry barrier is very easy as far as trucking business is concerned. As far as warehousing is also concerned, अब देखो मतलब pre GST pre demon, I think there was huge segment of the market which was very mobile kind of warehouses. के मतलब not very huge warehouses but smaller warehouses. So it is मतलब a function of cost of capital, basically the intensity of asset. ऐसा कोई technology नहीं है. But if I look at express business, there is a big role of technology to play in. कि technology and scale कि मतलब technology in the sense कि मतलब just imagine कि अगर आपको मैंने रेमडेसिविर का example दिया था, so I'll add on that कि if you have to send something from Ahmedabad to all over India and turnaround time has to be very fast. आपके पहले तो आपके sorting unit में जाएंगी, sorting unit में कितनी देर रहेंगी, उधर से 10 ट्रक्स आएंगे, 10 ट्रक्स में से सॉर्ट होंगे. अभी 10 ट्रक, हर एक ट्रक में खाली आपके रेमडेसिविर नहीं जा रही, ट्रक्स खाली नहीं जा रहे, वो सब ट्रक्स में आपके दूसरी सब चीजें भी जा रही है. सो ट्रक्स विल हैव अ सॉर्ट ऑफ वेटिंग टाइम एज फार एज यू नो दो सॉर्टिंग फैसिलिटीज आर कंसर्न, कि मतलब आपका 10% ऑफ द ट्रक्स कैपेसिटी इज टेकन ओवर बाय रेमडेसिविर, बट 90% मतलब दीज एक्सप्रेस B2B बिजनेस कांट यू नो खाली नहीं छोड़ देते. सो वहां पे भी वो कैपेसिटी ऑक्यूपाई करने के लिए यू नो दे हैव डिफरेंट ऑर्डर्स, दे कीप ऑन टेकिंग न्यू ऑर्डर्स कि वो रूट में मुझे और ऑर्डर्स मिले. सो देयर इज अ बिग बैक एंड एंड बिग काइंड ऑफ यू नो एल्गो व्हिच रन्स के मतलब के मेरे को कौन सा ट्रक को कौन से रूट में चलाना है एंड व्हाट टाइम एंड व्हाट प्लेस इट शुड बी देयर. सो इट्स अ बिग काइंड ऑफ अ प्रॉब्लम फ्रॉम अ टेक पर्सपेक्टिव आल्सो. सो इट इज नॉट ओनली मतलब कि आप बेसिकली सारा लीज पे ले रहे हो, but it's a very different kind of a setup that these express B2B businesses have. कि मतलब scale भी होता है and with scale they have a lot of technology also.
Okay. I have मेरे पास last 2 questions है.
एक second. There are other people also want to ask question. So sorry Rishit ji, we have to take others question as well. So if you are having still any unanswered question, you can reach to us. We will connect you with Vineet. Okay. So Mr. Tarun Jindal, you can ask your question. I have unmuted you. You just unmute yourself.
There is no, I think he is.
He's not. So then Mr. Dilip Chavan, you can ask the question. Hello. You can speak now.
Yes, Dilip.
Anyone else who want to ask question, just raise hand. We will unmute you.
Rushabh, you can ask your question, I mean.
Hello. Yeah, Rushabh here. Ajib, 2 क्वेश्चन थे मेरे. आपने जो बोला कि ना मार्जिन सॉरी मार्केट शेयर गेन्स होगा घटी में, so have they shared any strategy, because you know maybe the market share has gone to TCI Express or other players, so getting the market share back will be a task. तो ऐसे कुछ strategy share किए कि मतलब how will they take back that share or something? और second question कि apart from execution risk घटी में what other risk do you see?
So अभी तो मतलब strategy perspective से वो लोग ने ये share किया कि मतलब firstly because of all cargo there is a lot of synergy that takes place. तो आप अगर all cargo का भी business देखो ना, so all cargo works a lot beyond the port. So port के ICD तक मतलब कभी भी अगर for example अफ्रीका से कोई consignment आ रहा है and that has to be taken from Africa to say for example a factory in Pune, right? So that consignment will come to Adani Ports. So Adani Port से लेके ICD तक आएगा. So all cargo का जो business है वो ICD and मतलब outbound kind of logistics होता है. So जो international logistics होता है उसमें वो ज़्यादा है. So till the extent of ICD जहाँ पे मतलब आपके goods docked होते हैं तब तक all cargo का आता है. And all cargo is very big on that. And the reason why it made a lot of sense for them to have Gati as a company, investee company, is basically from port to end logistics is what service that Gati can provide. So firstly, there would be a lot of synergies between all cargo clients and Gati clients, because now all cargo will be able to give end-to-end services to its client. That is one thing. Second thing is that Gati had lost a lot of wallet share amongst its own clients because they had lost a lot of business there between 2018 to 20, and that is because they were operating at a very low efficiency, and they had to let go of a lot of their own geographies as during the period of distress. जहाँ पे मतलब कि they had a lot of scale, but they were not able to execute on a very efficient basis. तो मैंने एक स्लाइड दिखाया था वहाँ पे the capital utilization in FY20 was around 70%. But as far as the express B2B business is concerned, you need to operate at around 80 to 85%. So what the new management has done is that to increase the wallet share, they have already optimized that to 90%. So from 70 to 90%, that utilization has happened, and now they are adding more geographies. Okay, so by adding more geographies, they are gaining more wallet share from their existing clients. अभी इसमें कोई भी client है ना, Rushabh, is not exclusive to TCI Express or Gati. So दोनों के clients काफी similar होते हैं. So everyone wants to de-risk. So as and when they increase their presence in a couple of more geographies with the level of capital capacity utilization, they should gain back some kind of business from there on. So अभी भी मैं उसका market share देखता हूँ, जो 6 to 7% था. What I feel is that was the worst case. So even right now, they would be much more than that particular number, because at that time they had taken, even while giving that guidance, they were at the lowest levels of their geographical presence, the lowest levels of their active branch network, and lowest levels of the utilization rate. From there on, मतलब वो लोग का utilization rate, geographical presence भी बढ़ा है. And secondly, over a period of time, basically all cargo का भी synergy add होगा, and gaining the wallet share will also help them to basically increase their market share. So that is what they have exactly articulated. If you go to their presentation, वो लोग का 2 slide इसके ऊपर ही है कि how they are going to basically focus on increasing the wallet share. So they are investing significantly on the tech side, and also they are investing significantly on basically the turnaround time side. So when I say tech side and turnaround time side, the reason why Gati, TCI Express did phenomenally well and Gati was not doing very well is that Gati never had any focus on tech, and because of, as I mentioned, कि यहाँ पे आपका turnaround time is very very important. तो TCI Express का turnaround time जो है वो काफी quick है in the sorting facility. मतलब let's say कि a vehicle is waiting at the sorting facility, so there has to be some mechanism from a tech side wherein you are allocating basically goods on a particular route in a very fast basis, right? And that cannot be done manually, so that has to be done on a basis of very robust kind of a tech, and that is where Gati is investing now significantly, and TCI Express had already invested, and that is where TCI Express is at 18% EBITDA margin, and Gati, even right now, they are targeting 12% EBITDA margin on the same kind of scale. Okay, so what I feel is that from now on, beyond all cargo synergies and gaining back the wallet share is concerned, it is their investment and the initiatives on the tech side and also on the efficiency side would help them to gain more wallet share amongst their clients. So that would also help. So what was your second question?
Yeah, just what is the main risk apart from execution risk in Gati?
So I think execution is the biggest risk, because if execution, I mean, steady state भी execution होगा और मैं ये one-offs निकालता हूँ, so they are already at 6 to 8% EBITDA margin. So that is my worst case scenario. So I feel execution इसमें यार आपके पास ना assets है ना कुछ है, आपके पास वो कंपनी डेट फ्री हो जाएगी, तो एग्जीक्यूशन के अलावा बहुत और कोई रिस्क ज्यादा होता नहीं है इसमें. Execution is the thing and is the biggest thing as far as Express B2B is concerned.
Correct. Okay. Thank you so much for the detailed explanation. And just one last question. Hello.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, just based on your experience, how would you rate All Cargo management versus TCI Express management in terms of corporate governance? Or how much, premium or discount will you give to the multiple, from your feedback or whatever you have, studied?
TCI Express is AAA rated and All Cargo is AA rated. So there can't be a big discount, but TCI Express will always trade at a premium.
Okay.
I
Thank you.
hope that. But even if I look at Gati, I mean, abhi yaar, Mahindra Logistics का CEO लेके आया है, who has a pedigree of raising a business from zero to $1 billion business. So that itself is a huge thing, right? So
Yeah,
I mean, the pedigree of management and All Cargo is not a bad company. It was just like cyclical business. So good times they do very well, bad times they do very bad. So inherently, I mean, if I look at Gati only, it's a fantastic CEO that they've gotten. So that will add to the corporate governance rating. The previous promoter was absolutely, was triple B minus, if I have to give a credit rating, because they went beyond, the express logistics business. They ventured into, they were very adventurous. Even if I look at the stock, they pledged their stock very, very aggressively. So right now the pledge is zero under All Cargo. If I look at the business, they took on a lot of debt. The books were not, as clean. So all of that, abhi wo sab clean up ho gaya under All Cargo and all of that. So hence, what I feel is that from a corporate governance perspective, TCI Express is AAA rated while these guys are AA rated.
Okay, thank you so much, Vineet. Let's hope Gati executes.
Okay, Vineet, we are having Mr. Balwan Singh. You can talk, Mr. Balwan, or else he has written down one question that what is the target for Gati?
So target price I've given, I mean, base case is around 230 rupees target. But having said that, my, as an investor, you should never be fixated to a target क्योंकि किसको पता नहीं होता यार ये मतलब पत्थर की लकीर नहीं है. So in the end, I mean, directionally, I am very positive. But at the same time, you should be, during the course of this entire exercise, what I've tried to do personally is, explain my thought process, and I reserve the right to be wrong on as far as the thought process is concerned. So target price ऊपर नीचे होगा. It is the direction at which, basically, अगर हम लोग ने जो सोचा है of the margin expansion and market share gains to happen, if that happens, then these target price can be achieved. But you should never fixate on these target price. Directionally, I think business is looking very, very positive. Any other question? Rahul, it's already 5:30.
Yes, this is the last question. Mr. Pritesh Parekh, if you have question, you can.
Vineet,
Hi, Pritesh.
yeah, do you think the synergies between
Your voice is not coming, Pritesh.
Pritesh,
hello?
I can hear you, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. Go on.
Can you do you think that the synergies between both the company All Cargo and they have taken out this Gati will improve the EBITDA of the margin in future for the Gati?
It won't improve EBITDA directly, but it
Because they both were from different backgrounds. All Cargo was in warehousing and this was in traditional business of transportation.
So it's a very different kind of warehousing that All Cargo does. वो ICD IFS मतलब it is beyond the scope of Gati. But having said that, मतलब जो admin cost और वो side पे, I mean, see, I've mentioned it here कि वो लोग ने काफी already, because of the All Cargo ownership, they have been able to reduce a lot of employee costs, the admin overheads, the rental, the corporate office is also now common. So all of that perspective, I mean, they have been able to save significant amounts of costs. But I don't see कि मतलब के जो warehousing वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा कम लग रहा है मेरे को. But I mean, we'll have to see that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Pritesh, I don't see any other question. So, okay, Vineet, thanks for this session and thanks. I don't see any other question. So it was a nice insight about this company, and hope so it will perform well in futures also. And thanks everyone for joining this call. Thanks, Vineet.
Thanks a lot for having me, and I hope this session was of some help. If you have any doubt, you can reach out to me on my email. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks everyone.